Coming up tonight on VCU Insight.
Shaka Smart is out and Will Wade is in. The Richmond community welcomes a new basketball coach to VCU.
Richmond celebrates the anniversary of an historic war.
And paying for this, there's a new business in town where you can pay for a little closeness, all on the up and up.
All this and more.
VCU Insight starts right now.
From the Richard T. Robertson School of Media and Culture at Virginia Commonwealth University, named Best Student Newscast in the Mid-Atlantic, this is VCU Insight.
Good evening and welcome to VCU Insight. I'm Jade Wong.
And I'm Evan Ratner. Thanks for joining us. Top in the news tonight, a lot of excitement on the VCU campus with the announcement of the new head basketball coach. Will Wade was announced as coach last week before a crowd of about 1,200 people who packed the Siegel Center. Wade comes from the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and had worked here under former coach Shaka Smart as an assistant before that. While a lot of basketball fans were still reeling over the news that Smart was leaving, Wade hoped to put them at ease, telling the crowd that Havoc still lives here, and he is committed and focused on winning.
We're going to be. We're going to stay nationally ranked, we're going to stay nationally relevant, and we're going to be about winning championships. We're going to defend our A-10 tournament championship. We're going to continue as a championship level basketball program. The
VCU basketball fans gave Wade a warm welcome back to Richmond, and Wade got right to work, meeting with players, working on recruits, and making the rounds in the media.
Still, there's a lot that remains unanswered. Fans, and more importantly, sponsors, loved Coach Shaka Smart and the energy he brought not only to the court, but the university. That energy translated into big dollars from corporate sponsors. So will those same sponsors be willing to put their money into a new, untested coach despite his promise of havoc? Insight's Robin Richardson joins us from the Siegel Center to help answer that question. Good evening, Robin.
Good evening, Jade. Will Wade's speech about Havoc and the future of VCU athletics not only electrified the fans at the press conference, but some of the donors as well.
We needed a proven winner who was going to win basketball games and win them in a fun way.
A lot of fanfare surrounded the announcement of VCU's 11th basketball coach, Will Wade. VCU athletics may have solved the issue of finding a new head coach. However, now they could face the possibility of losing support from some local boosters.
We currently are above $25,000 a year.
Mike Rinko is a VCU alumnus and one of the athletic department's donors.
I'm standing inside of Colonial Scientific, a local business who donates almost $50,000 each year to VCU athletics. The question is, will the other donors continue to do the same?
VCU athletics received roughly $2.5 million for corporate sponsors. I asked Rinko if he believes the other donors will continue to support.
I think collectively we are going to step up our game and continue to support it. And again, I think the trajectory is going to continue, and that's going to continue to attract the other companies that may be on the fence right now.
Robbie Robinson is VCU's Senior Associated Athletic Director for External Affairs. He says despite the havoc going on behind the scenes, he's not worried about losing sponsors.
There's a whole group of people that work hard to make sure that brand stays strong, and we're going to make sure that happens.
The money donated by the sponsors goes toward the players' traveling budget and their new practice facility that's being built now. Back to you, Jade.
Thank you, Robin.
Some much needed spring cleaning in Richmond over the weekend. RVA Clean Sweep and the Manchester Alliance recently hosted the first ever Project Clean Stream in Manchester. Over 100 community volunteers donned their vests and picked up trash across 5 areas. The sites covered everything between Hull Street and 4th Street. Neighbors said they saw the project as a perfect lead-in to next week's Earth Day celebration and are encouraging the cleanup to be taken to other parts of Richmond.
A VCU program that offers classes to inmates is once again teaming up with the Richmond City Jail to help ex-inmates get a better future. This nonprofit organization is called Sanctuary, and it's a place to go for career readiness by taking part in workshops. Sanctuary opened its doors at the beginning of April, and since then, organizers and volunteers have been working with the community. Glover Ramseur first started taking VCU classes while he was in jail.
But as I joined the class and realized that I wasn't, the monster that everyone, portrayed everyone to be locked up as.
After Ramseur started taking the classes, he decided to join a second program in the jail, started by Dr. Liz Canfield with VCU's Department of Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies.
The jail, the Sanctuary, was a place where people could go to relax, to kind of get a brief, respite from the chaos and nastiness that is a jail.
Sanctuary now has a location outside of the jail, and it's located right here on Broad Street. It's a place where people can come in and participate in workshops that go as far as GED prep work and job skills training to even taking prenatal yoga classes. Ramseur found the programs to be such a success. Now that he has entered what he calls the free world, he wants to try to give back to the community what was given to him.
So hopefully they'll be successful as I am.
Sanctuary primarily focuses on former inmates, but it's also open to the public for anyone to get help.
Everyone knows baseball is America's pastime. One organization in the Fredericksburg area is trying to bring that pastime a little closer to home. Insight's Derek Marion sits down with the founder of the group to find out more.
I'm here with Tom Burns, president of the Rappahannock Baseball Initiative. Thank you for being here, Tom.
Sure.
Why did you decide to found this or co-found this organization, the Rappahannock Baseball Initiative?
It all started with the editor of the local newspaper in Fredericksburg, Paul Akers, who unfortunately passed away about a year and a half ago. He wrote a series of articles after visiting minor league ballparks on the East Coast. And what he found was that minor league baseball contributes to the community and a locality in very tremendous ways. It's very inexpensive, wholesome family entertainment. And a couple former elected officials in Spotsylvania, an elected official in Fredericksburg, and myself and a couple other people started the initiative just to try to find and land a minor league baseball team.
We have some footage here of the Hagerstown Suns, and that team looked like they were going to be in Fredericksburg last year even. Why did that fall through?
I think it really kind of boils down to a lack of leadership in the city of Fredericksburg. No offense to the city, I live there and I love it, but you have to have a strong leader to make something like that happen. And we did have a leader from Fredericksburg, but he wasn't able to generate the support of his colleagues. They were somewhat disengaged and just weren't prepared to do what it takes to make it happen. And it's you'll find that in almost any locality. If you have a person in a leadership role and they're really willing to step out and make it happen, it can happen.
And so is Fredericksburg out as a possible location for a minor league baseball team? Are you completely looking elsewhere, or is that still on the table?
Yeah, Fredericksburg is not in the cards in any way at all. So our effort is to bring minor league baseball still to the Rappahannock region, but as you may know, Fredericksburg is surrounded by Spotsylvania and Stafford. So and there's also, King George and Carolina are also close. So there's lots of opportunity to fulfill our initiative.
Do you think any of those locations are better suited than other ones to host a minor league baseball team?
I do. I think you want to be close to your demographic, and I think the two top candidates would be Stafford and Spotsylvania. They're both on 95, which is important, and they both are in close proximity of at least a 250,000 people or more.
And do you have any goal for what level of team you want to bring here? Double A, single A, or independent league? Is there any goal for that?
You know, I think the members of the Rappahannock Baseball Initiative would be happy with any level. You know, it's all baseball, and we would be interested in a minor league team that is affiliated with Major League Baseball team, or an independent professional baseball team. Whatever it would take to bring minor league baseball to Fredericksburg, we're prepared to get behind, or rather to the Fredericksburg region.
And do you have any sort of timetable for when you'd like to bring a team to the area?
Yesterday. We want to make it happen as soon as possible.
All right, thank you. I've been speaking with Tom Burns, president of the Rappahannock Baseball Initiative. Thank you for joining us, Tom.
Thanks for having me.
Yom HaShoah, also known as Holocaust Remembrance Day, is a day to reflect. Richmond's Holocaust Museum is marking the day with a new exhibit. Insight's Casey Young tells us more.
Every year, the Virginia Holocaust Museum holds an event for those who died during the Holocaust. The premiere of a new exhibit will open the same day. Social media marketing manager Reese Van Linden for the Virginia Holocaust Museum says what the new exhibit will be about.
It's about the concentration camp Auschwitz, and it will basically give an overview of the camp, but it will also incorporate local survivor testimony, which is what makes it unique.
History is important to everyone. So, the Virginia Holocaust Museum is actually doing an event for the Holocaust Remembrance Day.
The new exhibit is about the concentration camp Auschwitz, and it suggested that 1.6 million were killed in the camp. The exhibit will show real survivor testimony written out for people to see, which will make it unique. Along with the testimony, the event will feature a talk with Director of Collections librarian who designed the event.
I mean, it really wasn't that long ago that, we did this to people, and I think it's important for the younger generation to remember.
And that's why the museum is expecting over 200 people for this event. The museum plans to continue going through the exhibits and revamping them and bringing them to modern standards for people to learn. For VCU Insight, I'm Casey Young.
The exhibit will run indefinitely at the museum.
Richmond celebrated the end of the Civil War and slavery with several events, and many gathered to reflect on our nation's history. Insight's Amaya Ray is in the newsroom with more. Good evening, Amaya.
Good evening, Evan. It was a weekend full of events to take you back in time 150 years. Many organizations came together to host these events to teach people history they may have forgotten.
No, it's not the 1800s, but as Richmond celebrated the 150th anniversary of the end of the Civil War in slavery, the city portrayed that time period. Reenactors were seen walking around Capitol Hill to give the celebration a realistic feel. And I can only imagine. A ceremony was held and Virginia Union University's choir opened with the selection. Then Virginia's Governor, Terry McAuliffe, delivered a speech on how he remembers the ones that fought for our freedom.
All those young men who fought way back when.
People took tours highlighting important places during the war. Some say they enjoyed learning Richmond's involvement.
It's important to acknowledge your history. They always have that saying that you've heard a million times that, if you don't acknowledge it or remember it, it can repeat itself again.
On Capitol Hill, there were activities set up in tents to get people involved.
Richmond played a major part during the Civil War. Here at the Capitol, people are commemorating the 150th anniversary and remembering the slaves and the soldiers that have fallen during the Civil War.
Across town in Shockoe Bottom at the African Burial Grounds, the mood was much different. People came together to honor the slaves that died for freedom. Nonprofit organization Alegba Folklore Society helped host this event. Their president, Janine Bell, says she wants to tell the untold stories of our ancestors.
So much about our evolution in America, black people, white people, all of us, that we just don't know.
Organizers say they wanted people to gain knowledge about Richmond's history during these events. Many walk these Richmond city streets not knowing who paved the way before them. Back to you, Evan.
Thank you, Amaya.
Richmond art enthusiasts got a chance to slowly appreciate art. Virginia Museum of Fine Arts hosted the 4th edition of Slow Art Day, an event that allows art lovers to look at 5 specific pieces of art at their own pace. 20 guests were allowed 5 to 10 minutes to just observe the art, letting it resonate as they gathered at the museum's cafe. Afterward, the guests were allowed back in the gallery to take photos with the selected pieces. This is the 3rd time VMFA hosted this event. Several other museums take part as well. To find out which one is next, you can visit slowartday.com. A local organization teaches students from the Richmond Public School System how to play tennis. They're hoping the lessons will help these students succeed on and off the court. Insight's Robin Richardson is in the studio to tell us more.
I'm in the studio with Nicola Bremen, and the Young Aces Open event coordinator. Nicola, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to just get right into it. I know you are associated with Lobs and Lessons that's near VCU. Can you tell me more about that?
Lobs and Lessons is a program that really wants to enrich and strengthen the life skills of the kids, promote academics, and create a path to higher academics. And we do that through working with community partners that help us to provide after school programming and summer programs for the youth.
Very interesting. So I know you partner with over 200 kids from the city of Richmond. So how you say that it's benefited them?
The way how it benefits them, this is actually the first year that we have over 200 kids, which is big for us because we're expanding. But the way how it benefits is the day is experienced the game of tennis, and with that experience we really try to motivate them to keep playing tennis into middle school. But except for playing tennis, it also benefits them in other ways. We have other activities during the day, like VCU Strength Performance Team comes in and does the warm-up with the kids. And we also have yoga coming in to do the cool-down with the kids. So they have a lot of experiences during that day. And one big factor is that we bring them to a college campus. So 90% of our volunteers are VCU students, which with that we really try to motivate them how to see how the college life is, how important college is, and what you can do with your education after college.
Okay. So we actually have footage of the kids playing tennis. I wanted to know what exactly happens in a typical lesson for these kids.
You mean during the day, like after school programming, or?
And during a tennis lesson itself.
Yeah, well, during a tennis lesson itself, it's more, we just play games, we play fun activity, tennis games. As long as they're involved with tennis, it's not just about playing the game, as long as they have a racket in their hands and are able to play tennis in a fun way. So they come in, we play about like 40 minutes of tennis with them every day in their after-schooling program.
Okay, so with the after-schooling program, I'm sure you guys go over materials that they have from their class, like homework. Have you seen a proven change in this typical student's grades from this after-school program?
Yeah, we really do. So except for homework, we even have like more activities. We give them nutrition activities and life skill activities. And we do see grow in the kids and development in the kids, which is really nice for us to see. So except for they're getting better at tennis, they're also developing their own life skills at Lobs and Lessons.
Okay, and I noticed on your website you have the 5 core values. Can you just quickly tell me more about that?
Yeah, our 5 core values are the ones that we most focus about. So that really comes back to what our Lobs and Lessons program is about. So the life skills, how we want to bring them on the path of higher education, and how we want to promote academics to them.
Okay, thank you. Well, I've been speaking with Nicola Bremen, the Young Aces Open event coordinator. Nicola, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
An event that helps pets find a home celebrated its 5th birthday. Local shelters showed up to the event with their barking four-legged friends. Adopt-a-thon is a monthly event hosted by the Richmond Metro Pet Savers. The Adoption Bash was held at Sam's Club on Midlothian Turnpike. Future owners were able to see and pet the dogs of their choice. This Adopt-a-thon received over 20 applications from people interested in the dogs. The next Adopt-a-thon will be May 9th.
The Ronald McDonald House here in Richmond is forming a new fundraising partnership to create more diverse form of revenue. And it's coming from an unusual source. Insight Sierra Wega is in the newsroom with more. Good evening, Sierra.
Good evening, Jade. People can now donate their cars to auto auctions. They will come, pick it up, auction it off, then give the local Ronald McDonald House 70% of what they make in sales.
VCU student Jennifer Holgram is an intern at the Ronald McDonald House. It's a free home away from home for up to 9 families whose children are being hospitalized.
Everything they do here helps these families and it helps the kids that are in the hospital.
And now the community can help by donating cars. They get to keep 70% of the sales price, with 100% of that going right to running the house.
The Ronald McDonald House keeps their kitchen cabinets stocked with groceries for the families that stay here, so that's one less expense these families have to worry about.
A house in Ohio pioneered this program in 2011 and made more than $500,000. The Richmond House's Director of Development, Allison Smith, says she hopes they can imitate the success.
What if we had one car a week that provided a $700 donation a week? That would be huge for us and make a big impact on what we're able to do.
During her internship, Holgram has seen the impact of the house, up close and personal.
They're happy here. They can, kind of have some normalcy maintained in their lives, which is nice.
The Richmond Ronald McDonald House is currently now accepting donations. With the money they receive, they hope to finally be able to renovate a new bathroom for the house. Back to you, Jade.
Thank you, Sierra. Bikes and beer, two things that Richmonders have become very fond of. Now there's a combination of the two, making an easy way to get around town. Insight's Jacqueline Causey reports.
Good friends Lane Summerfield and Bree Spots have taken a fun trip to North Carolina and turned it into their new business. A business they say the Richmond market will love, a bike trolley.
Something like this on Facebook, and I called Bree up and I was like, hey, there's one similar, it's a similar concept down in Raleigh. Let's go take a weekend girls trip.
What they came back with was Groovin' Gears, formerly Pedal Party RVA. It's a 14-seat bike trolley that takes riders on beer tours and bar crawls around the city.
The tours run Thursday through Sunday and go a variety of locations such as Tarrytown, The Fan, and Scott's Addition. The process is relatively simple. All you do is hold on and pedal with your feet. If you choose not to pedal, there is someone who's also propelling the trolley and acts as a tour guide.
The bike took 3 months to build and was custom made, but is it safe to pedal the Richmond streets? Spot says it's going to be right-hand lanes all the way.
We've mapped our routes out so that we're off the main roads as much as possible. We kind of stick to the side streets so that we're not going to obstruct traffic but so much.
VCU senior Joshua Bach-Breivik says this twist on tours is a good alternative for students.
Definitely sounds a lot more convenient than, especially being a student here, not really having transportation, having a trolley that seems to be easily located would be something that would be fun to do.
And fun is what Groovin' Gears is after.
Have a bike. I mean, it's just so much fun. Like you cannot not laugh and have a good time.
It's definitely a unique experience.
Yeah. A unique experience geared towards a really good time. For VCU Insight, I'm Jacqueline Causey.
There are a variety of tours that last 2 hours and cost $35, or you can rent a 14-person bike for $420.
And finally tonight, Snuggle Up Close, a new business called Cuddle RVA just opened up in Richmond.
For a small fee, anyone can pay to sit or spoon with a professional cuddler. Insight's Sabrina Fuller has the full story.
Cuddling with a complete stranger for comfort might sound strange, but Mary Tucker and her fiancé Bobby Castelvecchi have opened a business doing just that. Cuddle RVA is a 600-square-foot salon that opened last Wednesday on Monument Avenue.
We are here to bring comfort and relaxation and human connection to people's lives and try to earn a living while we're doing it.
It's simple. Cuddle for 30 minutes to an hour for $1 a minute. The service is open to both men and women. But not everyone is cozying up to the idea. Tucker says comments on the Facebook page have taken an emotional toll.
You might think, ew, ick, touching strangers, or that's sad if you're so lonely that you have to pay for cuddling.
Despite comments like that, Cuddle RVA has attracted more than 700 likes on Facebook.
Cuddle RVA clients have many options as far as the services offered here. They can simply sit quietly with someone, or even read a book together.
Cheryl Reese is a retired teacher and lawyer. She recently applied to be a professional cuddler. Reese says she knows people think it's unusual, but she says it's not sexual. It's platonic and legitimate.
It's just to help people feel comfortable and feel connected in the world that's so viral now.
Reese and Tucker both agree that Richmond is in need of a friendly touch. For VCU Insight, I'm Sabrina Fuller.
Wow.
Evan, is that something that you think you'd be interested in?
I actually really enjoy cuddling. You know, I actually call myself a self-proclaimed professional cuddler.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Your wife must love that.
She does love it. You want to see? Come
Yes,
here. Bring
I
it in
do.
for the real thing.
All right, awesome.
We like to cuddle here.
That's great. You are a professional cuddler.
This is good. All right. And that's it for this edition of VCU Insight.
Make sure to check us out online at vcuinsight.vcu.edu.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook under VCU Insight. Contact us with any stories you'd like to see on our show.
And if you missed it, or if you'd like to watch past shows, we're on YouTube under VCU Insight. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jade Wong.
And I'm Evan Ratner. We'll see you next time.